Hi there and welcome to Lorena's Labyrinth. Today I'm going to be delivering the monthly forecast for September. Of course, I'm recording these and loading them on YouTube in 2024, but I think it's worth pointing out at this point in time, I probably should have done it at the beginning of all of these videos, is that when we talk about numerology, it doesn't matter if it's 2024 or if it's 2034 or 2035 or whatever. These forecasts will remain current because it's about the energy of the number. So a personal year is a personal year. It doesn't matter what happens. And it would even remain the same in the 22nd century. So where I'm going with this is just that in future you can come back to these videos in the following years after calculating what your personal year is, and then go to the slide that's relevant to you. Now, don't forget, I do put chapter timings in the descriptions to make it easier for people so they don't have to go through this whole scenario of watching a video about content that's not necessarily relevant to them. I mean, as a point of interest, and I know as a mother and a grandmother, I do the numerology for my children and my grandchildren, my loved ones, and even for friends. And you would be able to go and check out what their month forecast is for their personal year. Excuse me while I have a stretch. Right, so before we get into it, first of all, I want to say welcome to the channel if you're a newbie. There is a whole range of videos loaded for, actually the annual forecast for 2024. That was loaded back in January. And then we've got monthly videos loaded each month, and I will continue to load and schedule them throughout the rest of the year. But that basically then becomes the backbone that I'm talking about for future years as well, which you can come back to. And this is why, for example, in this video, this one's directed to September, but it's got personal year number for each month going across. So anyway, getting into it, when we talk about doing the personal year, for those people that are new to the channel and haven't watched any of these videos before, I'll break it down. If you're a returning visitor, I just want to say thank you so very much for joining me. And if you're bored by this already, just jump ahead. I will not be offended, and I won't be able to know anyway. I wouldn't be able to tell. Well, I don't think I could. Just jump ahead and go to the personal year content that's relevant to you. So for the newbies, where I'm going with this is to work out what your personal year is. You quite simply, the idea is that you bring your personal or the total number has to be reduced down to a single number, a single digit. So you add your day number with your month number to the year number. The year number this year being 2024. If it was 2034, the year number would be the sum of 2034. So let's say, for example, looking at this forecast here, which I actually have blocked, can't see it. It would be the 25th. I can see enough to know that the number sample that I've put on the screen here is actually the 25th. So the day number is the 25th. That was the day a person was born. The month, of course, is the calendar month, if it's March. So you would add 2 plus 5 equals 7. Plus the month, if it's March, that becomes a 3, so we're looking at 10. And for the year number, 2024 is actually 8. So somebody that was born on March the 25th, 1985, they would have, I just put the ruling number down here, they're a 33/6, but their personal year for 2024 is a 9, okay, because the sum of the 25 plus the 3 plus 2024 comes to 18. So then we add the 1 and the 8 together and we get down to a 9. We reduce it down to the 9, and there we have their personal year number. So hopefully that makes sense for you. If not, leave a comment and I might have to redo the video. So for those people in a personal year of 1, what you can expect to see this month, being the month of September, is new areas of responsibility arriving. Potentially there's a workplace promotion and there's even a possibility of travel. Now, the responsibilities are expected to bring some significant changes into your life, so it's important for you to understand that these changes are all vital to growth. So stay calm and avoid being reckless. We're now going into the final quarter of the year. towards the end of 2024 this year when I'm doing the recording, but you always got a final quarter, remember? And your personal year next year is going to be a number 2, and there'll be lots of decisions for you to be making throughout the year of 2025. And so this year is now about preparation, if I can speak, getting ready for next year. So people in a personal year of 2, they can also expect to see the influences of the new year, in this instance 2025, start to come into play this month. Now, where the first part of the year for a 2 should have seen an increase in and escalation in power and growth, this growth now starts to wane, okay? It starts to slow down. You would be wise to not settle for anything other than excellence at this point in time, and to ensure that you make this personal goal or personal standard of striving for excellence. You've got a new enlightenment, and this has given you strength to basically not accept or compromise your standards. And if you haven't managed to step into your power this year through the opportunities that have presented to you, there is still ample opportunity to do so in the last 3 months of this year, for the last quarter. So yes, start to step up to the plate. If you haven't now, it's far more important to do so now. Grab those opportunities for development and empowerment. So for people that are in a personal year of 3, this whole year has been about learning and developing understanding, this heightened awareness, which we only gain from experience to a large extent. We can learn a little bit from books, but at the end of the day, it's personal experience that drives the lessons and understanding home. So what you can expect for September is that this is going to be a powerful month of realization of this increased awareness and your responsibilities. Now, this may translate to some of the experiences that you've had or opportunities for learning. You might still be having a bit of a scratch and thinking, I don't understand the whys, wheres and hows. Well, this month it's going to, or it should actually be, more of a light bulb moment for you, where you actually are able to process the reasons behind things, and also to recognise your own responsibilities going forward. Now, the advice for you at this particular time through the month of September is to ensure that you allow yourself to experience some joy this month, because if you don't, there is that risk of an imbalance where life can become quite serious, all work, no play, and that kind of thing. And the other thing is too, that by giving yourself some adequate rest, you actually allow your brain to rest, to be able to fully process all of this new information that you've managed to access this year. So that's September for you guys. So for those of you who are in a personal year of 4, of course, you also are going to be affected by the energy of the new year that's coming in. It starts to be felt in small ways. So you'll be looking at obviously a 5 next year. But for September for you guys this year, this is a month about not being too ambitious. Rather, you're encouraged to put your focus of attention on your actions and ensure that what you do is actually responsible, because this is about preparing your path forward into the new year, in this instance 2025. So September might be a good time for a vacation. If you need to give your mind a rest, you may have been over processing through the previous months, but even if you haven't, perhaps setting aside some time will ensure that you are psychologically and mentally prepared to take on board new information, new ways of learning and processing, so that you can make informed and positive decision making as you go forward, and also to maximise the potential of the following year, in this instance, as I said, 2025. And this is just, this month, start your preparations and focus on your health, well-being and being responsible with the way that you conduct yourself. So for those of you that are born in a year or a personal year of 5, this year so far should have seen you developing an understanding not only of yourself, but a heightened awareness and understanding of other people. Now, this development and growth, shall we say, and capacity to hold empathy should extend and continue through the month of September. So you can expect, based on the energy of the month, the year, this kind of thing, to see further increases in your own self-confidence, a greater comfort with taking on responsibilities. It will feel easier to you. Then also there's the matter of having standards in regard to not being prepared to allow others to undermine you and your newfound confidence, because you know what's best for yourself and you're happy to be the driver of your own destiny. You're no longer happy when you let other people determine and dictate how you walk your path. So the only thing you really need to be doing right now is to take actions and grab hold of the reins of your destiny. So, for those of you in a personal year of 6, you can expect some exciting changes to be occurring throughout the month of September. Now, of course, when it comes to change, people have to be open to receiving change, receiving blessings, or taking the actions required to bring the energy of change through to fruition. So, change is usually the presentation of opportunities for change. It's up to you to either accept or knock it back. But either way, the options that are there look like they're to do with your work. Now, when we talk about change, this can be within the work environment. This can mean actually a totally new job, getting a job offer somewhere else. It could be getting a promotion at work. It could be an expansion of your current job description into having your current workplace be more emotionally rewarding for you. Either way, the flow on of these changes is to be an improvement in your finances, especially if they've been depleted, because abundance is on the radar throughout the months of September and October for you. So you are basically encouraged to embrace the positives and the blessings from the universe, and to shun anything that is less than positive that might occur during the month of September. So if you're in a personal year of 7, you're going to start seeing and feeling changes, and this will carry through the month of September. So change is so close for you, you can almost taste it. You should start to feel lighter, more re-energized, and have greater levels of confidence. And if you're not at this point in time, just remember it's very, very close. Your life is going to start to improve, especially when you respond with happiness and gratitude to people, events, and so forth. You would be very unwise to resist or ignore your higher self aspects at this point in time and any of your intuitive guidance, because if you ignore it, you're going to deviate from your path, and this will potentially result in further sacrifices. So the advice is, stay attuned to your inner guidance and allow the blessings to unfold. So those of you in a personal year of 8, you can expect that September is actually really going to bring in the initial influence of the upcoming new year. In this instance, at the time recording, 2025, of course, because once you go into the new year, you're going to be going into a personal year of 9, which is the completion of cycles, its endings. So, of course, throughout this final quarter of this year, the personal year of 8, you start to see these things coming into play. Now, having strong ideals will stand you in good stead for continued financial success. And if you've been experiencing difficulties throughout this cycle, just be aware that these difficulties, there is closure to them throughout the following year. So the closures will start now. Things will definitely start to come to an end, whether it's the positive slowing down, the abundance that's been flowing towards you, it's going to start to slow down. If things have been difficult for you because you're having to put in place lots of changes, or there's been a lot of environmental issues around you, that also is going to abate. Responsibilities on the home front will become stronger throughout the month of September, but it is also a month that potentially offers prospects for travel overseas, just something to consider. So for those of you who are in a personal year of 9 this year, to put this into perspective, 9 is a year of completions. It is the end of a cycle. Now, obviously, I'm recording this in 2024. I've already discussed at the beginning of the video that when we're coming to the final quarter, which is September, more so in October, November, and December, we're going into that final quarter of the year. so that the influences of the next year starts to come into play. So if you're in a year of 9, this is, as I say, completions, but next year it's all about new starts, new beginnings, new ways of doing things, new ways of living, and this kind of thing. But before one door can open, another one has to close. That's the usual process. So what we see happen throughout this final quarter, and particularly over September, is you being offered choices in ways that you've never previously seen. So throughout the year so far, you will have been developing courage and making changes yourself and having to face some really big decisions in your life. And this is going to continue somewhat more upon the completion stage, because there's been a lot of uncertainty where you've had to face that and face the unknown and to really persevere on your goals. Okay, so this remains the case to some extent over the month of September, to keep persevering, to overcome your fears. And this is a very powerful month for overcoming your fears, because it liberates you. You will have greater freedom and better capacity to make these informed decisions to create the types of new beginnings that you're seeking in the new year, which in this case is 2025. So keep on keeping on. So there we are, my friends. That is the September forecast. I will upload the October, November, and December and schedule them towards the end of each month, so that you can. When I say the end of each month, the October forecast will go up at the end of September, just to give you a little bit of insight before October gets here, and this will be the process going forward. And anyway, I guess that's it for now. Love your feedback. Please feel free to leave a comment. If you like the content, if you find it interesting, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It would be appreciated. But otherwise, have a wonderful, blessed day, my friends. Whether you come back or not, wishing you all the very best. Take care. Bye-bye for now.